It's the National Football League on EA Sports, and we've got the latest chapter of a historic rivalry. It's the New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys under the lights on Monday night.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
The kicker, Graham Gano, set to put his foot into this one. And we are underway from AT&T Stadium. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape, up past the 30. First look at the Cowboys offense as Dak Prescott gets ready to guide them.
And how about the toughness of Dak Prescott? We see it all the time on the field. And remember when he had that serious ankle injury, would he return to form? Boy, did he ever. And he was better than ever, and that's great for the NFL. Terrific resilience, playing at a high level, capable of winning a championship with his arm and his legs.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Play one, and Prescott to the air. A short one there, taken in by Ferguson. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss on that play, and now third down gets tougher, 3rd and 6. Now Prescott. He hits blue. Into space at the 45. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And as you're game planning as a staff, you go through all the different ways you can neutralize the other guy's pass rushers. Extra linemen, leave a tight end in, bring the running backs back in to block. Or you can do this, a little simple screen pass, and it works to perfection.
On first down, it's blue. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. Now, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
From the 38 now, here's 2nd and 2. They'll try and run again with blue. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on third down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
They'll try to run for it with blue. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped him, bringing up 4th down.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. They run for it. Here's blue. And he's brought down, but not before picking up the first with a very effective stiff arm.
Well, that's what's called being aggressive right there. But I don't know that it's reckless. I think it's much more of a message, hey, defense, I believe in you in case we don't get it. And offense, trying to let them know he believes in them as well.
I like it. Your first drive of the game in plus territory, be aggressive. They'll try to throw now. Prescott. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Well, it seems pretty clear on this opening drive that they want to get him involved, not only, Charles, in the run game, but in the pass game as well. And he can be such a weapon for them when they utilize him this way.
And, partner, you know I'm a veteran, right? In other words, that means a little bit older. Back in my day, we used to call a guy like this a workhorse, except he carried the ball all the time. Now they get it to him a variety of ways, but you're right. They want to run their offense through him.
7 yards there and a first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. The pickup goes for 13 and sets him up first and goal.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical. They've been crisp. And as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early first and goal.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, first and goal. Prescott. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Jake Ferguson, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Cowboys will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Brandon Aubrey now for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-0 Cowboys. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. They'll be led out by the man who proclaims to be from a whole pack of Badgers. Came into the league back in 2012, Russell Wilson.
And similar to his nickname, Russell Wilson has a dangerous mix of skills, the ability to throw from the pocket and extend plays and throw on the run. Not to mention an absolute winner. Usually has his team in the playoffs competing for Super Bowl opportunities.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. They go play action now. Wilson. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Okay, partner, a couple points of interest right here, all right? Offensively, we see that they came out throwing the football, but maybe more importantly, the blitz that came defensively, they got right after it.
And you were telling me pregame before we came on air, you think this is something we could see a lot.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because this is a unit that wants to play the game on their terms.
Here's Wilson. Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. Certainly not his best throw that time, and not a good time to make it, Charles, when they were a nickel with 5 defensive backs on the field.
And that's exactly why you have those 5 DBs out there. You want extra speed on the field, guys who have ball skills and understand what the passing game can do, and gives them a chance to react and make a play on the football, and they take one of those away.
Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. And they'll have good field position here following the interception and a chance to build on their lead as they start with a 1st and 10. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Following the interception, here's Prescott. Pass complete, George Pickens with it. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
2nd and 1 now from the 21. Here's Prescott. He finds his man complete. It's Ferguson. And able to get this down inside the 15 to either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. He had the touchdown on the opening drive. Now he's got a 1st down. Prescott to throw it. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. From 13 yards out. And the Cowboys are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead.
The full team is involved in this game early, aren't they? Go down the field, score on offense, take the ball away on defense, and go right back and score again. You got to like the way that's working for them.
That's exactly right. Touchdown, turnover, touchdown, 2-score lead. A little bit like you at breakfast this morning. I got to get this in. You had a perfect omelet, dropped it, so a little bit of a turnover. You went right back though and got that omelet and crushed it.
You got to do what you got to do, man. You got to do what you got to do.
A little worried about your hands, though.
Yeah. Well.
Aubrey good with a PAT, and that'll make the score 14-0. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And he returns this to the 22. So the Giants getting the football back here for their 2nd drive. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown. So decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan? Or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He'll get that to his tight end, Theo Johnson. It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
2nd and 5. Play action. It's Wilson. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. From the shotgun, Wilson. Yeah, to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they're going to have to give up the football again after this one.
On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. Cavante Turpin deep for the Cowboys. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 37. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Able to hit his target, Lamb. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on. And I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to, pick up a first down.
Here's Prescott. Going right back to Ferguson. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Final 30 seconds of this first quarter, and it's been a quarter dominated by the guys with the football. Toss play to the right to Blue, and he is going to lose yardage here. It goes as a loss of 6, and now 3rd down. $14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession. They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on 3rd. Prescott from the gun. The 20. He will have the first down and a bit more. Touchdown, Cowboys. A big play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Cowboys take a 3-touchdown lead. Well, just a sensational start for this offense, Charles. 3 drives, 3 passing touchdowns.
Is that like mentioning a perfect game in baseball? Or are we cool to do it here in football, partner?
No, I think you can do it here in football. I think perfect game in baseball, that's its own category.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Could not imagine a worse start for that secondary, or let's face it, a better one for this offense. No chance they stop passing now the way that it's going. I think they're going to continue to press the ball downfield and hopefully reap the same results.
Now the extra point up and good by Aubrey. And that makes the score 21-0. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit, and if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Nice satisfying run on first down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
They'll go again with Tracy. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. Here now, 3rd and a yard.
In motion left, Robinson. 3rd down, here's Tracy. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the 1st down.
Tracy going to get it on 1st down.
Oh, able to avoid him. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 11 and a giant 1st down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
Straight ahead, here's Tracy. Trayvon Diggs getting the tackle.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
Now 2nd and 5.
Now Wilson. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked.
More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. Wilson. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
Micah Parsons.
2 plays in a row now that he has gotten in there for the sack, and it brings up 4th down.
These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles, and that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this will stay a 3-touchdown game.
Yeah, 55 yards is anything but a gimme. You've got to really concentrate on your leg swing and proper technique. This time, though, he's unable to convert.
Dak and the Cowboys ready for their next possession. And the numbers for the last drive, and he was perfect, which maybe isn't surprising because he has not missed a pass in this game yet.
And it lets you know just how precise things have to be for a quarterback to be perfect, because that means the line's blocking really well. No one's dropping any of the passes thrown to them, and the quarterback is accurate. It's almost like a pitcher throwing a no-hitter or a perfect game, isn't it? He's the principal guy, but he needs a lot of help.
Time to find out if he can keep that perfect game going here, partner. Looking to throw. Prescott. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there.
Brian Burns flying in there and dropping it for the sack.
Traditionally, as a defense, your number one job, stop the run. But in today's football, it's impacting the opposing quarterback. Make him uncomfortable. And so far, they've not been able to do that.
Not at all. He's been really comfortable in the pocket. 3 touchdown passes already.
So that could be an important first sack if they do want to turn things around.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Prescott now. Under pressure, they got him again. Brian Burns. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
They'll need a big play here, will Dak and the Cowboys. After the sack, it's 3rd and long. Throwing, Prescott. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
And the Cowboys going to bring on Brian Anger to punt on 4th down.
It's taken to the 26. It's a 41-yard punt, but just a net of 31 following the run back. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. New York set to take the field. And this, you'd hate to say that a drive in the first half must end in points, but you're down 21-0. They're going to have to get something going fairly quickly.
I would agree totally with that, because if you're going to mount the comeback, it's going to have to come in bits and pieces. It doesn't just all come at one time, right? We haven't seen anything more than a 6-point touchdown ever in this game, right? So that's how it has to be done. Get points on the board now. Start your comeback, but you're exactly right. Let's get it going right here in this spot.
That one goes for 24 yards.
Now, that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Throwing is Wilson.
As this complete to Daniel Bellinger.
And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped.
And they get 17 more on that one and another 1st down.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the 1st down.
Out to his left. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
I think the defense surprised him there with that blitz on 1st down, but give him credit. Stayed cool under pressure and still found a way through the extra rushers for positive yardage. Well done.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
From the 21, here's a 2nd down and 9.
There's Wilson to throw.
Over the middle, he completes it to Robinson.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. To throw is Wilson. He's got his running back out of the backfield.
And the Giants are going to be set up with a 1st and goal as they get the conversion there on 3rd and inches.
But they've certainly not shied away from throwing the footballs. They've leaned on their quarterback to start this game. 4 straight passes right out of the gate, with that last one earning them a new set of downs.
This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. They'll try to run this one in. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Taking it in from a yard out.
And the Giants get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. So they brought the extra bulk in down on the 1-yard line, and they're able to push this one across.
Yeah, I can just see your face right now because I know we're mind melding on this one. Coach Madden would love this. Power football, hat on a hat, chest to chest, driving forward, touchdown.
Graham Gano on for the extra point. It's up, it's good, and that'll cut the lead to 21-7. That time a 6-play drive, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Cowboy offense going to head out now late in this first half. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. To throw is Prescott. He hits Blue. And some space here.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now Prescott. Quick hitter here. It's complete. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Second down and 4.
Prescott.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way, a dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. Flush to his right. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
On 3rd down, the defense decided to blitz. A very good job of recognizing it, stepping away from the pressure, and finding open space to scramble and pick up a 1st down.
And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. Right hash mark of 42-yard attempt. And this one is right through. And they will open things up a bit more. It's 24-7. So no problems at all on that one. And you know, there's virtually no wind. This is a kicker's dream here tonight.
It absolutely is, isn't it? So to me, with no wind, it should be a passer's dream as well, right? But in this case, the defense held out. They had to force the field goal.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. 1 second, all that remains. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. So we are at halftime here on a Monday night. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
The Cowboys retreated to a fine first half from number 4, quarterback Dak Prescott. He got off to a hot start with 2 first-quarter touchdown passes, threw another for good measure in the second quarter. So he has been on target throughout.
The Giants set to get the football, and they trail here as we get back underway in the second half. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
Ball at the 26, 2nd and 7. Now Wilson. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Johnson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
And that's patience to be admired right there, because he looks left, looks right, and waits for the right guy to come open, spots him in the middle of the field, and delivers.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Wilson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
Now a 2nd and 10. Now it's Wilson. Open target here, Darius Slayton. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Wilson will throw again. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Giants first down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Now a 2nd and 2.
Here's Wilson. This one is Slayton over the middle. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
They'll hand it to Tracy. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Right back to Tracy. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. A loss on that play, and now third down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
Well, it's almost football 101 that you preach to your safeties. Don't let anyone get behind you. You're the last line of defense. But he didn't let the play come to him. He went to the play. How about that read and recognition and finishing off that one behind the line of scrimmage?
Here's Wilson. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. Well, that frustration, Charles, it's been building on the defensive side of the ball, and unfortunately there, it turns into a roughing the passer penalty.
Yeah, and they should be frustrated because he's picked them apart the entire game, but it's got to come out in a different way. You can't hit him illegally. Stop him downfield the way you're supposed to.
Johnson with a completion over the middle. And the Giants are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Looking to throw. Wilson. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. A very costly sack there on 3rd and goal. Pushes him back big time. And now you figure the field goal team coming on 4th.
You can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Another try after the 1st down sack. Wilson, throw left side, taken in by Slayton. A nice job to get 11 out of that pass play, but now they face a 3rd and goal. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And they're going to get to him, a sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. A nightmare on 3rd and goal. He's sacked, and multiple players broke through the line to get him. He's certainly one of those quarterbacks that can burn you with his mobility, but that time able to hem him in and get him to the ground.
Perfect descriptor right there about how they kept him in the pocket. Excellent job of containment, but they were still able to continue to bring such strong pressure without letting him escape. But how about those guys in the secondary as well? Kept the coverage tight, plastered to the receivers, and left no real options for him to throw it downfield.
Gano's kick is good. Well, I don't know if they would have gone for it on 4th and goal anyway, but the sack on 3rd down pretty much made their mind up for them.
You're exactly right about that, and this is a tough place on the field to take a sack because, as you just noted, it took the decision-making away from them. Now they have to go for a field goal instead of potentially going for it.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Cowboys offense and Dak Prescott getting ready to go once more. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. On play action, Prescott. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Well, they certainly spread the ball around so far, but they're definitely getting everyone involved now when you're throwing it to the fullback. Just shows how versatile this offense is and how everyone is a threat.
So from the 37, here's 2nd and a couple. They'll run up the middle here with Blue. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And he appears to be about 2 feet short on 3rd and 3. Leaves him with a 4th and 1.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
On to punt now, Anger, as he boots this one away.
This is taken at about the 14. It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
The Giants offense and their running back getting set to go once more. And you look at his numbers as a pass catcher in this one. They've lined him up in different spots, shifted him around, and made him a real weapon in the passing game. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material.
Play action. It's Wilson.
Catch made by Slayton.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there of 20 yards. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night.
You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Back now in Arlington. It's the Giants with possession of the football but needing points as we start quarter number 4. Now it's Wilson.
And this is incomplete. Very lucky to get that one back. That nearly picked. It's 2nd down now.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
Now Wilson.
That's complete to Slayton.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
You got the big lead defensively.
willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
This offense so far on third down, they've hit 4 of 7. Here it's 3rd and 3. And Robinson, the motion man right. From the gun, it's Wilson. Oh, and that is incomplete.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Giants go on 4th but come up empty. And that will force a turnover on downs. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. Throwing, Prescott. He finds Pickens over the middle.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Dak swinging this out quickly to Lamb. And Lamb going to have a Cowboys first down as he'll get this down to the 30-yard line.
They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive continues. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now Prescott. Another one to CeeDee Lamb. He's got it. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it's 2nd down. Now a shotgun handoff. Blue.
What a great effort there. He's going to get this inside the 15, and they'll spot it at the 13-yard line. Nice run.
Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Cowboy first down.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation when they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
And he's got his man in stride, complete.
And the Cowboys are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense, because to me this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
They'll run. This is Blue. And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Taking it in from 2 yards out.
And the Cowboys have put this one to bed here in the 4th quarter.
And that right there is a definition of a statement drive. You're in the 4th quarter, trying to get to the finish line, and here They were able to hold the ball for a long time and move it down the field. And how about them finishing it off with the touchdown run? Winning football 101, check that box.
Aubrey good with a PAT.
And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21.
So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Here's Wilson to throw.
Robinson hauling it in outright.
And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be.
A loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave them with a second and just a few inches left. Throwing is Wilson.
Open man downfield is Johnson.
And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. A great effort there. 46 yards.
And the Giants have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. All right, so this one not quite over yet. Back to a 2-score game, CD.
Yeah, and you've still got 4+ minutes to go, so when you think about comebacks, it's happened before. Now, it hasn't happened often, but you've got to think to yourself, let's be the next great comeback story and play this one out.
Gano for the extra point. And the lead will be cut down to 14. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30. The Cowboys offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball. Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the fourth quarter, we see both teams hold up the four fingers, fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the four fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Yeah, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. The offense on third down, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Out of the gun, they run with blue. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. And the tackle there by Micah McFadden. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, they run with blue. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Dallas. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. So Russell Wilson in the offense. Down by 2 touchdowns. A little under 1:50 remaining. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on first down. To throw is Wilson. This is Robinson. Room to maneuver at the 35. He's to the 15. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Wan'Dale Robinson, 75 yards. And the Giants have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, you get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion. Here's Wilson. And he's got it for the 2-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further. So they elect to pass there on the 2-point try. Sometimes could prove risky. There it worked out.
Yeah, and I love how you bring up that it can prove risky, because if you get it intercepted and they return it, that's 2 points for the defense, but not on that play.
So they got one of the 2 touchdowns they needed. Now for the onside kick. And they've got it. They recovered it. But hang on now, though. There's a penalty flag down. A big mistake in that spot. You got to let it go, Tim.
They didn't give themselves a chance. They had an opportunity, touched it first. Now they're in a really bad spot.
We've got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on first down.
Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. They go again with Blue. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game.
Here is 3rd and 5.
Up the middle, it's Williams.
And he will have a Cowboys first down, and that should be that.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. The Cowboys on their way to victory as they take a knee. Prescott, he goes down to a knee, and that should just about do it.
What a ball game this was. What an atmosphere this was. And the home team getting the late touchdown, getting the victory, and now everybody in this building can file away with smiles on their faces.
And what do real estate people tell us all the time? It's location, location, location. So being at home, that can be a big deal because, remember, they were down to their final chance to retake the lead. That home field advantage, I think it helped fuel all of what happened for them down the stretch. A huge win.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Cowboys as we sign off and say so long from Arlington.